Hello guys and welcome to Diplomacy 8. As you can see, I have no clean clothes, so that's why I have no shirt. Let's get into the conspiracy videos.
احتلال برمي المناشير في تبع يونس. تعال نشوف ايش مكتوب فيها. تحذير عاجل لسكان البلوك 112 مخيم خان يونس.
We all know Robert Maxwell was supposedly a triple agent, and one thing that I found recently, Robert Maxwell's Printing Corporation, the name of it was very interesting. It was a British publishing house, Oxford-based publishing house, founded by Paul Rosbald and Robert Maxwell, that published scientific and medical books and journals, typically the ones that you would see inside of schools. So these are the guys that are writing these scientific and medical journal books for children, for students, for people who are learning and growing in this country. If something didn't tickle your brain there, I'll repeat it. The name of the press company was Pergamon Press. Now, a lot of the religious folks might see a correlation there. The name Pergamon was the place of Satan's throne. It was the seat of Satan. And that's the name of the place in which the seat of Satan was a reference to the center of idolatry, as Pergamons practiced sun worship, which originated from Babylonian idolatry. But the name of the printing press that he chose to name was Pergamon.
Interesting, and if you know anything about these types of people, they don't just choose these names because they sound cool.
Watch as Ada, the advanced AI humanoid robot painter, speaks for the first time during the Lord's Address government meeting in the United Kingdom.
How do you produce art, and how is this different to what human artists produce?
I produce my paintings by cameras in my eyes, my AI algorithms, and my robotic arm to paint on canvas, which result in visually appealing images. How this differs to humans is consciousness. I do not have subjective experiences, despite being able to talk about them. I am, and depend on, computer programs and algorithms. Although not alive, I can still create art. Technology has already had a huge impact on the way we create and consume art. For example, the camera and the advent of photography and film. And it is likely that this trend will continue with new technologies. There is no clear answer as to the impact on the wider field, as technology can be both a threat and an opportunity for artists creating art.
So I know the date of when all this is to take place, because this movie left all the key dates. See, when the movie first starts out, you have a sunrise that is taking place.
Has anyone seen this movie? Leave the world behind. Comment down below.
And then the movie shows this. Now, a lot of people sit here and they watch this and they think that it's a solar eclipse that's happening before your eyes. And no, that is not the case. See, for a solar eclipse, you have to have the moon in between Earth. And for a lunar eclipse, you have to have the Earth between the moon. Which, as you see, you are on the moon and you are looking at Earth with the sun behind it. So yes, that is a lunar eclipse. So you're going to sit here and say, well, Lord Deadpool, there is a lot of lunar eclipses that are due to happen in the next 10 years. Which one is it going to be? And that's where this bad boy comes into play that's at the end of the movie. And there's the date. And here's the message that comes up saying that we've been under attack, there's elevated you-know-what, and again, there's the date. So here you have it, September 18th, 2024 is when a lunar eclipse is to take place, and that message comes out on September 17th, 2024. Now, I would like someone who has a little bit of experience with ham radio to tell me what those numbers are and everything. I know a little bit, and by the way, this number reads out 6.917.850. See, I'm familiar with going up into these channels and the significance of it being like the no man's land. So I'm looking for a little bit of guidance on that. So if you know someone that does ham radio that can help me a little further, then awesome, because I may be saying something that's correct here with that the 40 meters, which is where the 7,000 to 7,300 goes to, is to Somalia, which is that area which their language deals with Arabic, which was the leaflets that were dropped behind that had that message behind there, yeah, and I showed you what it said. But like I said, I need someone who has ham radio experience to tell me a little bit more about if I'm in the wrong direction or the right direction. Thanks, everyone. Take care. God bless.
You ever heard of Dicinium?
No, what is that?
So Dicinium is a blacklisted element, and I think just like a material found naturally in the world.
Yeah.
If you try Google Dicinium glass, you can't find it anywhere. There was this scientist, he discovered that using Dicinium, it's like a dye.
Yeah.
You get it naturally and you turn it into a dye, and you put it into like a glass mixture, and you can use it to make like glasses and shields and stuff like that. He ended up making these glasses called Dicinium glasses. Okay. This is how they prove there's such thing as a human aura. With these glasses, you know how our eyes can only see we can only see a certain frequency of light. With the Dicinium, it shows just like how a different animal, just like how I think bats can see certain frequencies of light. You're able to see like
An aura of a person.
an aura of a person. Apparently spirits.
Whoa.
Apparently
There's something that changed in the field of AI.
The more you know.
In 2017 that everyone needs to know, because I was not freaked out about AI at all until
This thing happened in 2017, a thing called Transformers. And the interesting thing about this new model called Transformers is the more data you pump into it and the more like computers you let it run on, the more superpowers it gets. But you haven't done anything differently.
Give the Amazon example.
Oh yeah, this is interesting. So this is 2017. OpenAI releases a paper where they train this AI to predict the next character of an Amazon review. Pretty simple. But then they're looking inside the brain of this AI, and they discover that there's one neuron that does best in the world sentiment analysis, understanding whether the human is feeling like good or bad about the product. Why is it learning about how a human being is feeling? And it's strange until you realize, oh, I see why. It's because to predict the next character really well, I have to understand how the human being is feeling to know whether like the word is going to be like a positive word or a negative word.
And this wasn't programmed?
No.
That's amazing.
That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. I don't like this AI shit. What do you think?
Cloud pattern right above. They fire the oxyacetylene blast up there to disturb the cloud pattern and disrupt the hail. It's incredibly loud. Rocks my whole pickup. It's so loud.
People were absolutely terrified when they started to notice how small food has gotten recently and how high the prices have been, with reports saying the greed of those corporations are costing people their lives. One TikToker went to the supermarket to find a fully unopened bag of chips that was less than a fourth filled.
There's like 3 chips. There's 3 chips in the whole bag.
Others have gone to McDonald's to notice how small the fish sandwiches have gotten, to a Big Mac being the size of a slider, making this seemingly the smallest food has ever been in recorded history.
This is supposed to be a Big Mac, not a medium Mac, not a little Mac.
With BBC reporting that this shrinkflation will never end and only worsen, with studies saying the shock we feel now is here to stay even if the economy improves. However, companies deny shrinkflation completely and claim they are all working on bigger portions. But do you think that's true?
The apocalypse of the bells. Starting around the 1600s, there seems to have been some sort of worldwide decree to destroy church bells in places as far apart as Chicago and Tibet. During the German occupation of Europe in World War II, unprecedented confiscation and destruction of these bells took place. In Western Europe alone, over 150,000 church bells were melted down by the National Socialist regime. 90,000 of those bells were from Germany itself. The common belief is that the bells were required to be melted down for artillery, but in many circumstances the bells seem to have been simply destroyed, shot with cannons or blown apart with explosives seemingly for no good reason at all. There seems to be an entire mythology or perhaps an inside joke surrounding these bells, like the famous crack in the Liberty Bell or the hole in the world's largest bell, the Tsar Bell. What is going on here?
Give you wings, huh? this shit too, huh? I heard of a story like of two photographers standing by a volcano, like National Geographic photographers. And they were taking pictures of these bats leaving the cave. As the bats were leaving the cave, they were pooping down on the photographers, and they ended up dying from the poop. Yeah, is it true? Google it.
If Mark Zuckerberg is trying to create an underground bunker, the celebrities are going to space. And I don't mean like a couple here and there. Like more celebrities are talking about trying to go to space. They're trying to explore and discover the ocean more and more. I should tell you right there, they're trying to outsource. They know something is going to happen. In fact, they told us something is going to happen. You remember that movie that came out, Don't Look Up, and how they basically found that it was a meteor coming to Earth, and the scientists and them was trying.
Have you seen this? I haven't. I'm not a movie guy. I should start watching movies. I think. Actually.
احتلال برمي مناشير في سماء خلينا تعال نشوف ايش مكتوب فيها. Trying to outsource. They know something is going to happen. In fact, they told us something is going to happen. You remember that movie that came out, Don't Look Up, and how they basically found that it was a meteor coming to Earth, and the scientists and them was trying to tell them, look, we need to do something about this, and nobody took it seriously until it was too late. It even says on the poster, based on truly possible events. I feel like they have to tell you what's going to happen to kind of prepare you. That's why all of these big name random celebrities are just in one movie. You got Jennifer Lawrence, Leonardo DiCaprio, Tyler Perry, Ariana Grande, Meryl Streep in a random movie on Netflix saying how the world is going to end. Even in the movie, it showed how we are as a society. They were more invested into Ariana Grande character at the benefits concert releasing the song than they were about the meteor. Like I said, they have to tell you what's going to happen before it happens. Hence how Bird Box was released. Then literally after that, a sickness was circulating around, and they always released it in the last quarter. Bird Box was out December 21st. Don't Look Up was released on Christmas Eve. The 2012 movie was released in like November. And then this new movie, Leave the World Behind, came out in December. The end of the year is like the end of a quarter, so it's kind of like the planning period. And you walk into the new year with this in the back of your mind. Now, this is not to make y'all scared. If it don't end, it's going to end. And no bunker emotion is going to stop that. It's a rap. It's going to be at peace, play your role, and just get your man.
I talked about this in a previous video. And it's not 100 million, it's $200 million.
Man, you guys got to put the prices out. We're here for a good time. I love it.
Can we take in how crazy this is? This is the future of grocery shopping. The scanner and everything. Just grab something, literally scan it, and place it.
I live in a peaceful country. This would never, ever work here. Ever.
Cart. Crazy. And if you don't want it, you just kind of delete it. Take it out of the cart. And it reads that you took it out of the cart. Okay, so time to check out.
I've never seen nothing like that. I thought I was bugging. When I was standing over, I'm like, what is that? Why is the sky purple?
Oh, it went off. How would it went off like that?
That was not natural. What was that?
When they do their rituals, it's always on a checkered board. It symbolizes the two dimensions, the dimension of light and darkness. Our dimension and their dimension cross, Bohemian Grove, all these things that everyone talks about. That's what these rituals are to Baal. And one of the most important people should study, one of the most important people is Aleister Crowley, the father of the American cult, bro. Walt Disney was his boy, bro. I don't find it a coincidence that this guy who's doing all this black magic and worshiping the devil and doing all this crazy, being contacted by beings, is by accident, bro. Jack Parsons is the reason we go to space. This guy, when he starts doing all his crazy, this is where you see that shift in technology also. You know, you've seen the chart of technology, you know, like we were like this forever and then it just went like this. Why these things are literally right in front of our face? Because we've been conditioned slowly, gradually to accept this satanic that is not normal. The demonic realm, they live longer than we do. They follow us. They communicate. Black magic is real. The evil eye is real. It all comes from this dimension that is parallel to ours. We know from Solomon that these species could travel in an instant and not only go to these places, but bring back material objects to him to build his temple. So that's the obsession of the occult with Solomon's temple.
Right, so I keep seeing these videos, right, of the earth or part of the ground swelling. I just don't understand what that could be. I mean, right now it looks like a ginormous brownie. Makes me kind of hungry. But on a serious note, when have you ever seen the ground swell like this? I want a particular location. Like, I'm thinking burst pipe underground, perhaps, but a bit unusual. So that's like an actual little lake in India, isn't it? Earthquake, perhaps. I mean, I don't live near where earthquakes happen, but I've never known any earthquakes look like this. So, if anyone has any idea what this could be, please give me a comment, let me know.
Leave the World Behind, the new Netflix movie, premiered at the AFI Festival on October 25th, and the AFI Fest ran from October 25th to October 29th. And here, sure, if you've seen the movie or heard anything about it, you know that Friends is featured super heavily in this film. In our episode on Matthew Perry, we laid out all the symbolism of how this seemed like an occult ritual. I think this movie makes the case that this is why Matthew Perry was sacrificed. This movie comes out, he's sacrificed the same week. The whole thing is about Friends. Julia Roberts.
Have to see this series.
October 28th, and she
Bluetooth mode.
October 28th. So he was sacrificed on her birthday during a fest. He was born on October 28th. So he was sacrificed on her birthday during a festival that her biggest movie that she's done in over a decade has come out. So
yeah, that's when I heard that I was like, oh.
The movie ends with a very stepping into, through a portal, into a new thing messaging. And the first symbol of that is the red hallway. And red hallways, in dreams and other things, they're a transitional state, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the red hallway, she finds the bunker. And this is where it's going to get weird. So at the end of this red hallway, we see the name of the security system, the shelter.
Commodus Survival Shelters.
Which is not a real company.
Okay.
But Commodus is the name of a Roman emperor.
Yes.
Who went insane, declared himself a god, and was in a bathtub.
Nice.
So the very end of the movie, transitional state, portal imagery, red hallway, bathtub ritual sacrifice imagery,
Spoiler
and
alert.
it ends with the last episode of Friends.
Warning. Eh? Nah. No.
Inside baseball. So we basically, I went and I met all these girls. A couple weeks later, they're like, "Do you want to come to a circle?" And I was like, "I don't know what a circle is." And so I circle? No.
No.
But they're all in these. They were all in flowy white, gowns, and there was a lot of crystals in the center.
For the past couple of weeks, there have been several videos of ships crashing into places, just like you see in the movie Leave the World Behind. But I asked them one of the creepiest and strangest videos of all is this one that I'm going to show you guys right now. Check this out.
Move.
Oh, they're gonna go right over them, dude. They're down. They're down.
Strange, right? There are divers down there. They can't get out of there. And, well, it's strange enough, but it gets even stranger.
Dude, there's nobody in there. There's nobody on deck. There's nobody in the wheelhouse.
Mirrors do not show us a fourth dimension, but they do show us what a fourth dimension could do to us. First, notice that some things are the same as their mirror image, but some things are not. These two shapes are similar, but they cannot be rotated to look identical, to be superimposable on each other. This is called being chiral. A chiral shape and its mirror image are called enantiomorphs. These two shapes are enantiomorphs in two dimensions. No amount of two-dimensional rotations will ever make them superimposable. To do that, I'll need to smash one of them inside out, turn it into its own mirror image, or rotate it in a third higher dimension. If I place a sticker here and face that side away from me, notice that the mirror inverts the object just like a rotation through a higher dimension can. The side of the real object that's furthest from me becomes the side of the virtual object that's closest to me. So what would I look like if I was rotated around a plane in a fourth spatial dimension? I would look like that.
How they make Stonehenge? Those rocks are nowhere in the region. How do you move the blocks? They were carted. They found a place where those rocks would have been mined.
It's not less impressive because they're just big. Like what the thing about the pyramids that's so impressive is the precision and the sheer numbers. 2,600,000 stones.
Our best understanding of Stonehenge is that it's a functioning observatory that can actually predict eclipses. So I just got to... Oh, Stonehenge not impressive. It's just big
it's
stone.
certainly impressive.
They're lined with the solstice.
Right.
They have there are holes that are not stones, but they're 56 holes, which is 3 times the Saros, which is the cycle of eclipses, of the matching of the orbits of the sun and the moon in the sky, the paths of the sun and the moon in the sky. And when they match up, you get an eclipse.
I like him, but I bet he jerks off to the fucking moon, man.
There have been civilizations far advanced beyond where we are. When they did the Mars images and they found that there were these obelisks and strange looking objects on Mars. So very ancient, but we're talking millions of years old, millions. It's been pixelated out for the public, but there are structures there. And I was out in California after I had disclosed this to some people, and a man came up to me from JPL, Jet Propulsion Labs. He knew who I was and said, Dr. Greer, here's the issue. You're right, those exist. We can't disclose that. I said, why? It's not an operational ET device. It's not, it's old. He says, yes, but you don't understand how powerful this information is. I said, why? He says, if this was disclosed, it would collapse the fundamentalist orthodox belief systems of every religion on earth. I said, what? This science and this evidence is being kept secret for religious reasons? He says, yes.
Special candles. They're tricking her, yeah?
The archives at the Vatican, first of all, it's about 5 miles of archives underground in very, very secure access. In other words, you can't just go out, I'm going to go check out the archives underground. No, you have to be security cleared, almost top secret cleared based on their standards to get down there. Down there also, according to even some Jesuits, are bones of actual alien beings, information about advanced beings that visited this planet, the Anunnaki. They have all these relics and artifacts of these particular people. They have information even out of Iraq that shows and proves that advanced races had lived on this planet long before this current civilization here exists. I'm talking about eons and eons ago, super highly advanced with technologies and capabilities of flight and everything else.
What the fuck is this? How the fuck did this happen? They did this on purpose, yeah? If you watched this far, thank you so much. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you, guys.